Starting in about 2010, the Dodge Ram 2500 and 3500 started coming with this dual beam style reflector headlight that uses an H13 bulb. Dual beam means one bulb that does both low beam and high beam. This bulb is dual beam. About the same time, they also came out with the single beam headlight. Now, it's a lot of confusion in the Ram world right now, because when people are looking for LED headlight bulb upgrades for their Ram, they're not sure if they have the dual beam or the single beam. And it's a little confusing. Let me explain. The dual beam uses one bulb. The single beam uses two bulbs, because dual beam and single beam refer to the light bulb, not the headlight. In this video, we're going to talk about the dual beam H13 headlight. If your headlight looks like this with one big reflector, this is the video for you. If your headlight looks like this, with a separate reflector for low beam and a separate reflector for high beam, check out our other videos. I'm Chris with Headlight Revolution, and in this video we're going to talk about upgrading your factory H13 dual beam halogen headlight bulbs to an LED light bulb from Supernova. We're going to talk about the difference between the original halogen bulb, the Supernova version 2, and the all-new Supernova V3. Your original halogen light bulb is a 60 watt high beam, 55 watt low beam incandescent light bulb with two filaments. One filament does low beam, the other does high beam. In the older style bulbs, you'd get a more traditional SMD type LED where one side would be low beam, one side would be high beam. And since you're only turning on one side for low beam, you didn't have the best light output. The new Supernova version 3 uses an all-new redesigned LED technology called CSP. And as you can see, it more closely mimics the orientation, size, and style of light output to your original bulb, making this one the desired replacement for your LED bulb. Anything using anything other than this style of LED technology may not give you the results that you want. Starting in 2009, Dodge came out with a new CAN bus system. That's CAN bus. It's a computer control system that both monitors and powers your light bulbs using pulse width modulation. Therefore, it's not just as simple and easy as pulling out your original bulb and throwing in the LED. We're going to try to make this as easy as possible for you. The kit that we're going to talk about right now is available on our website at www.headlightrevolution.com under the Dodge Ram section. But you can also click the link in the description below the video, and it'll take you right to this product on the page, so there's no guesswork for you going forward. When you get the kit from us, you get two H13 replacement LED bulbs with external drivers and plug-and-play adapter harnesses. This makes installing the bulb in the headlight housing super easy, but if you turn on the headlights without the extra pieces, it's not going to work right. The vehicle is expecting to see your original filament light bulb, and instead it's going to see this LED bulb, which is essentially a circuit board. It's not going to like that. So we have to trick the computer into thinking that the original bulbs are still in place. It's kind of a complex system, and we're not going to go into detail about why it is. You can do your own research for that. All I can tell you is that we figured out what works, and we're putting it all together in a kit so that's easy for you to do the job on your own. If you want to see more details about how to take apart your truck, how to mount resistors, and how to do these types of installs on the vehicle, we have a bunch of other Dodge Ram videos, so please check out the rest of our channel and subscribe so you don't miss all the other Dodge Ram videos that we come out with. The first thing you're going to do is take out the original halogen light bulb. It simply twists out, and the new bulb goes in. Now, the reason that we like these Supernova version 3 bulbs is that you can actually take out this set screw here and clock the bulb so it's in line inside the headlight housing. You see, with the original filament bulb, it has full 360-degree light output, so it doesn't matter how it's positioned in the headlight. And with Dodge Ram, they may not be exactly the same from left to right. The orientation of the clocking of the bulb isn't necessarily going to be the same. So you really have to pay attention to that. Let me show you. When we flip the headlight around, you'll see that on the top and the bottom of the reflector, there isn't a good reflector for putting the light out. As you can tell, the reflectors are left to right. This is a horizontally designed beam pattern, and we're going to want the LEDs to point left and right to shine into those reflectors to let the headlight do its job and create the beam pattern. The other thing that you're going to want to know is that the little hood that's floating in the middle of the headlight housing is held on by a bracket underneath. If your LEDs are shining down, A, it's going to run into that bracket and totally screw up your beam pattern, and B, you're not supposed to have the light shining up and down anyway. It's supposed to be left to right. That's where the adjustable mounting collar comes in. When you buy the kit, it comes with this little Allen wrench to take out the set screw. However, we found that it's not a very good fit. What I like to use instead is my own T7 Torx driver. That does a really good job of gripping that screw, and it's super easy to get it out. Once you take the set screw out, the mounting collar and the bulb separate. Then we can install just the mounting collar in the bulb and then figure out the alignment of the LED. The way you install the bulb in the headlight is to take out the original H13 halogen bulb, remove the collar from the new LED, and put it in the headlight. It has 3 alignment tabs, so you got to get those lined up, make sure it's going in flush, spin it until it locks in place, then slide the bulb in. Now on the front side, we can look at, we need to align the LEDs so that they're facing left and right inside the housing. If you go too far one way or the other, it's not going to work. We want it right about there so that the bar of the LED is up and down and the LEDs are facing left and right. What we're trying to do is focus the light so that it's in the reflector housing using the same reflector as the original light bulb. Now this part's important. You're not done. You still got to take the bulb out and put your set screw back in. But because it's loose, you got to be careful not to turn the bulb anymore. The whole point is that the bulb stays put in this clocked orientation. So you've got these kind of ears on the connector that you can grab onto, and you shouldn't have to touch the LED bulb at all. You take it out, and you look on here for where your alignment hole is. It doesn't look like it's perfectly matched up, so we're going to just twist it a little bit, about half of one of those circles, and that should be just fine. You put your screw back in, tighten it up. Now we're ready to reinstall the bulb. It goes in and it stays in. The flexible heat sinks are actually designed to spread apart, and this gives more surface area, more cooling space, and this is how they're going to work the best on the backside of your headlight. You would think that you're done. The connector goes into your factory wiring, but it's not going to work right because of the CAN bus system. That's where our kit comes in. Our kit comes with not only the 2 LED bulbs, but also the correct plug-and-play relay harnesses and capacitors. Normally, you would have to wire in the capacitor to make it work. When you buy the kit from Headlight Revolution, it all comes pre-assembled, soldered with heat shrink, and ready to go. The resistor harness comes with a pair of 50-watt resistors which mimic the values of the original light bulb. The purpose of this is that the vehicle sees these resistors instead of the bulb, and it thinks that everything's working correctly. It'll then pass the voltage through appropriately and power up this LED. Without these, it's not going to work. They're plug and play. You get it to click. Now this side goes into your factory wiring harness just like the original bulb did. The capacitor goes on the high beam only. Now if you don't know how to wire up a capacitor, look it up. You got to be very careful that you do it right. We're going to mount it inside the connector like this, but when you buy the kit from us, this will all be done for you and it'll be appropriately soldered and everything will work perfectly. The last step is to mount your resistors. Watch our other videos about mounting resistors in the Dodge Ram. We have several of them and it'll help you to see exactly where to put these resistors. We show it on the 04 and up, on the 09 and up, and the 15 and up. So check out our other videos for install examples. Here's the Dodge Ram H13 headlight with the original halogen low beam. The reason that we're doing this test is we compare the exact same housing with two different bulbs on the exact same spot. And we use a digital lux meter to measure the difference in light. Now, doing that measurement is kind of boring, so we're just going to show you the beam patterns. So here's the stock low beam, measured 340 lux at 25 feet. And then we flip it to high beam, and this is what you get. It's significantly brighter at 540 lux at 25 feet. Now watch what happens when we put in the LED bulb. So now when we put in the Supernova V3 LED bulb, you see that we get a much brighter beam pattern on the low beam, and it's a way better color. You got that perfectly white 6000K. There's no hint of yellow. It's a very modern looking light. It's also a little bit wider, as you can see, and the biggest difference is the brightness. The original low beam was 340 lux. The LED low beam is 1040 lux in the exact same headlight at the exact same distance. That's 3 times the amount of light. Now remember when I was talking about orienting the bulb in the housing? This is why. Look what happens if it's a little bit off. You can get all kinds of weird beams. And so this is with the bulb upside down, and this is with the bulb right side up. Now both of these beams are shining left to right. So it's really important that you test this and figure out exactly what you want it to look like. What you want is a focused looking beam with a strong hot spot and not too tall of a beam pattern. Now when we switch to high beam, you're in the same boat. You can orient it all kinds of ways. You don't want that, but if we get it like this, now we're talking. Huge beam pattern, super bright. Again, we're in that 1090 lux range where the stock high beam was 540 lux at 25 feet. So just by putting in a new LED bulb, we've got a better color and double the light output. So there you have it. Everything's pretty well put together for you. We have the kit on our website. The two things that I want to reiterate are, when you put in the bulb, remember to fan out your heat sinks so that they cool properly. Secondly, the resistor harness has 2 resistors and they both get really hot. You gotta mount them to metal. Watch our other videos on how to install resistors. We'll link that in the description below the video. And if you like what you see here, you can buy these at our website, www.headlightrevolution.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we do a lot of lighting upgrade videos, especially with the Dodge Ram, more coming out soon. So thank you very much for watching. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Have a good one.